Peace and love, family. As we end the month of Ramadan, I want to speak on what many Muslims consider to be the sixth pillar of Islam, and that is Jihad. In Arabic, the word Jihad means struggle. Struggle can mean a variation of things. But what I'm going to speak about in regards to Jihad is my own personal inner struggle. The things that I'm currently dealing with, even while observing the holy month of Ramadan. For those of you who know my story and my situation, I'm currently diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, due to the things I saw in combat while I was in the military and while I was deployed to both Iraq and Afghanistan. But my inner jihad for me is basically my own personal insecurities that I have within myself that I have yet to fully resolve. And I'm going to mention a few of those because to me it's necessary to speak out or let out all of these negative thoughts and emotions that I'm currently facing or dealing with. And my inner jihad is that doubt, that self-doubt and that fear. And that fear, in my personal opinion, is keeping me from living the best life possible. What is my fear? It's basically of other people. Shout out to my brother Abasi Okoro, who reached out to me and said, the greatest tragedy you can have is having expectations of other people, of you, and trying to live up to other people's expectations. That is a tragedy for a disaster, and it's something that you should never want to achieve for yourself. What you should be achieving is love, peace, and happiness and satisfaction for you. And this is something that I have to continue to remind myself on a daily basis. And the struggle I have is I don't believe I'm good enough for anybody. I've been single for over 10 years now, and although I do enjoy being a single man and living the single life, there are times that I do wish I had a special woman in my life. There are times that I wish I did have a companion. I wish I did have a woman who loved and respect me and understand me for me. For some reason, I believe I'm not good enough for no woman. And I don't know why I continue to believe that. Maybe it's because of my failures and my dealings with women in the past, including my own son's mother. Maybe it's because women find things, something about me that are unattractive or unappealing to them. Or maybe it's because the women I have encountered or I'm attracted to, they're just not the best qualified women for me. I believe it's a fact of everything I just mentioned, but it continues to keep me down and frustrated because I'm not in a relationship. Now granted, a relationship is not the end all be all, but like I just mentioned, there are times I do wish I had that very special sister in my life. But my inner jihad is removing that doubt and that insecurity. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing ugly about me. You know, women have made fun of my teeth. People have made fun of me being light-skinned and this, that, and the third. But even with my flaws, it's never stopped me from getting a woman. It's never stopped me from approaching a woman. And so these insecurities I have, it's all internal. It's all what, you know, they say that the devil is constantly working, especially if you're blessed, you're gifted, and you're striving. That inner struggle that I constantly fight each and every day. I think because of the insecurities I'm currently holding on may be the ultimate reason why I have not found success in relationships. And women may sense that. And so that's something I have to fix within myself, because overall, no one can ever grant you peace, love, and happiness but you. And if I don't have that within myself, how in the hell can I expect a woman to give that to me? The other inner jihad I have is what I do on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes I believe people don't want to be around me. Sometimes I think people look at me with disgust as if I'm nobody, as if I'm the worst thing in the world. And again, these are all psychological emotions and thoughts that I have. But I notice that sometimes when I'm around people, they'll give me the frown or give me a weird look as if I ain't shit to them. And it saddens me at times. But I'm constantly learning how to overcome that. Because the reality of the matter is, nobody knows me better than me. These people that I meet out and about, they're strangers. They don't know me personally. They've never had a conversation with me. So therefore, I have to continue to work internally within myself to convince myself time and time again that I'm not an ugly person. I'm not a terrible man. I'm an incredible human being. My life's work speaks for itself. But when you're blessed and you're gifted and you have to go through the struggle and the fight and be on this process of winning alone, oftentimes it makes you have some type of doubt. It may make you feel insecure because nobody's going to understand their plight better than you. And that's that inner jihad I'm continuing to fight with regularly. For brothers that don't get that similar type of love that other people do, when they don't garner respect from others, when they're constantly overlooked and frowned upon, man, it can weaken a brother. And yes, I understand my brother Bossie's point that you should never look for other people's expectations to make you happy but you. However, I would say that it does hurt a bit when people look down on you, man. It does hurt a bit when people disappoint you. It does hurt a bit when you put some trust in people and people disappoint you. Which leads to that insecurity, which leads to that doubt. What makes you fear that you don't even want to be around people because you subconsciously believe people are going to always disappoint you. Now, am I wrong for having that type of thinking? Yes. However, this is the struggle I'm constantly have to overcome. And this is a lifelong struggle. Your inner jihad is for life. Nobody's going to believe in you better than you. Nobody's going to fix anything for you except you. In the Torchlight for America, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan writes, the need or the will to change starts with the desire to change. When you have the desire to change, it will feed into the will to change. Once you have the will to change, then you seek action into instituting that type of change. That's what the inner jihad struggle is all about. You recognize certain traumas, you recognize certain triggers, and then you implement some type of action or strategy in order to get you out of your problems, in order to fix and solve your problems. But it ain't very difficult to try to overcome things that are internal and psychological simply because you kept it there for a very long time. And finally, I'm man enough to admit on camera that at this current time, I am not planning or plotting to commit suicide. Have I had thoughts of suicide? Yes. Do it register in my mind from time to time? Yes. However, I do recognize and acknowledge that as a trigger, and I do my damnedest to talk myself out of it. Such as what I'm doing right now, taking a walk. That feeling's been on my mind all day. But I know that's not what I want to do. Because for one, I ain't got a plan to actually commit the act. And for two, I'm responsible for my 11-year-old son. That's my blood. He's my seed. He's a product of my creation. So how dare me to even commit such a selfless act? That's the ultimate inner jihad that I deal with on a continuous basis. I gotta constantly fight my inner self to talk myself out of any demonic things that are prosper, that are trying to overcome any weakness that I may have. I'm way stronger than what I'm putting out here. And by me being alive, going on the age of 38, all praise is due to Allah for giving me that strength to continue to muster on, despite the fact that there are days that I feel down, there are times that I believe that I'm lost within myself, and there are times that, hey, I may just want to end it all, that I'm at a boiling point that I just don't want to continue no more. That's the inner jihad. That's the struggle. That's the fight. And for those of you who have mental issues, you gotta continue going at it. You gotta continue to muster on. You gotta have that will. This is your life we're talking about. This is my life I'm talking about. And if I could recognize I got things going on with me that I ain't proud of, but I'm willing to make the necessary changes in order for me to continue to live a positive and productive life, then you can do the same thing. Otherwise, there's no point in me making this video. That being said, peace and love, family. And may God continue to bless each and every last one of you. Make the change for yourself, because at the end of the day, you do deserve to be happy. You do deserve to be at peace with yourself, and you do deserve to love yourself, because God loves you. So why wouldn't you love yourself? 100.
I believe my insecurities developed as a child when I was told that I didn't belong. That shit is wild, honestly. I should have died at the age of 22 by an IED attack in Iraq. I'm overdue to be forgiven so I can live with complete happiness. I'm sharing my emotions because I'm very passionate. They share with y'all other things I've endured and explain to the world of why I'm feeling insecurities. I'm dealing with insecurities. I'm dealing with insecurities. I'm dealing with insecurities. I'm dealing with insecurities.